Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Rundown with me, Zulfick Farzan. It's Friday, the 29th of August 2025. Well, who knew that it's already going to be the end of August and next week it's going to be September. Well, starting off today, we have some very interesting news coming from the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Now, Dr. Nandalal Weerasinghe, Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, has once again been recognized on the global stage, receiving an A grade in Global Finance's 2025 Central Bank Report Cards. This marks the third consecutive year that Dr. Weerasinghe has earned the prestigious honor, underscoring his consistent leadership and strategic acumen in navigating Sri Lanka's economic challenges. The A grade reflects exceptional performance across key areas including inflation control, currency stability, interest rate management, economic growth, and political independence. Global Finance's annual report evaluates central bank governors from over 100 countries, making this recognition a significant testament to Dr. Weerasinghe's impact. Now, this accolade not only highlights the governor's personal achievements but also reinforces the Central Bank of Sri Lanka's commitment to fostering economic stability and resilience. Under his stewardship, the institution has played a pivotal role in steering the country through turbulent financial times, maintaining investor confidence and laying the groundwork for sustainable growth. Now, moving on, Sri Lankan police have launched a comprehensive investigation into illegally acquired assets linked to several organized crime figures, including underworld leader Kehel Bhaddara Padme, who was arrested in Jakarta, Indonesia. Now, the probe is being led by the Illegal Assets Investigation Division, which has already uncovered significant details about properties of financial holdings allegedly purchased in Sri Lanka using illicit funds. According to police sources, many of these assets, both movable and immovable, were acquired under the names of Padme's close associates to conceal ownership. Now, in addition, police have identified properties connected to another suspect known as Commando Salinta as part of the ongoing investigation. Authorities estimate the value of the seized assets to be in the multi-million rupee range. Legal proceedings are expected to follow, with police preparing to seek court orders to freeze the identified properties. The arrests were made during a coordinated international operation involving Sri Lankan, Indonesian, and Interpol forces. 6 individuals, those who see it on your screen now, including leaders of the 3 major crime syndicates, were apprehended in the early hours of Thursday in Jakarta, Indonesia. Among the arrested are Commando Salinta, Bako Saman, Panadura Nilanga, and Tambili Lahiru, figures known for their involvement in organized crime. Notably, Bako Saman's wife and child were also taken into custody during this operation. Now, this high-profile crackdown marks a significant milestone in Sri Lanka's efforts to dismantle transnational criminal networks and recover assets obtained through unlawful means. Now, the Ministry of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government has announced plans to install fingerprint scanners systems in all state institutions as part of a nationwide initiative to improve attendance monitoring and operational efficiency. Now, Minister Dr. Chandana Bevatna stated that fingerprint scanners have already been installed in several government offices, including divisional secretariats. The move aims to streamline employee attendance, tracking, and reduce irregularities in reporting to duty. Now, the primary objective of the initiative is to ensure a disciplined and transparent system for recording employee arrivals and departures. Additionally, it seeks to minimize discrepancies and misuse related to the attendance records. Now, at the same time, the Ministry of Education has announced a new initiative aimed at enhancing infrastructure and facilities at university medical faculties across the country. According to Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Madhura Senaviratna, the program will prioritize development at the medical faculties of Northwestern, Sabaragamuwa, Moratua, and Uwavellasa universities. Now, these institutions are set to receive focused attention under the new plan to improve learning environments and support systems for medical students. Currently, Sri Lanka operates 12 medical faculties collectively enrolling over 2,000 students annually. The initiative is expected to significantly boost the quality of medical education and training, aligning with national goals to strengthen the healthcare sector of Sri Lanka. Now, despite ongoing strike action by several trade unions, bus services across the country are operating as usual. This is according to the Sri Lanka Transport Board. Deputy General Manager of SLTB, HRT Chandrasivi, stated that approximately 4,600 buses are scheduled to operate daily. Now, on Thursday, nearly 4,500 buses were in service, indicating minimal disruption to public transport. Meanwhile, several SLTB trade unions have continued their strike action into Friday. Ranjit Zoiza, Joint Secretary of the National Workers Union, said the strike was launched in response to issues arising from the implementation of a unified timetable system. Despite the industrial action, the SLTB assures commuters that services remain largely unaffected, and efforts are underway to resolve the concerns raised by the union representatives. Now let's move on to overseas. Now this is a story from Mexico. Mexican politics surprised us once again with a spectacle worthy of prime-time television. In the last session of the Permanent Commission of the Congress of the Union, legislators went from exchanging pleasantries to hurling insults, culminating in a heated debate on narco-politics and cooperation with the United States to combat organized crime. And as usual, Gerardo Fernandez Noronha and Alito Moreno starred in one of the most emblematic scenes of the year. The spark was ignited when Moreno PT and PVM registered an item on the agenda titled, quote, "Request by the PRI and PAN for military intervention in Mexico by the United States Army," unquote, which immediately provoked the fury of the opposition. Senate President Gerardo Fernandez Noronha tried to distance himself, but the tensions was already overflowing, and you can see those scenes right now on your screen. There are some interesting scenes there from Mexico. Now, speaking to reporters about Gaza, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said, "No more excuses, no more obstacles, and no more lies." Here's a listen to the comments made by the Secretary General.
Israel's initial steps to military take over Gaza City signals a new and dangerous phase. Expanded military operations in Gaza City will have devastating consequences. Hundreds of thousands of civilians, already exhausted and traumatized, would be forced to flee yet again, plunging families into even deeper peril. This must stop. We have seen yet more unconscionable Israeli strikes, including earlier this week at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis. One attack was followed by another, killing civilians, including medical personnel and journalists, who were carrying out their essential work, all with the world watching. These attacks are part of an endless catalogue of horrors. There must be accountability. Gaza is piled with rubble, piled with bodies, and piled with examples of what may be serious violations of international law. Famine is no longer a looming possibility. It's a present-day catastrophe. People are dying from hunger. Families are being torn apart by displacement and despair. Pregnant women are facing unimaginable risks. And the systems that sustain life, food, water, healthcare, have been systematically dismantled. These are the facts on the ground. And they are the result of deliberate decisions that defy basic humanity.
Well, let's move on to some interesting sports news now. The first one-day international between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe is set to take place today at the Harare Sports Club, marking the beginning of a two-match series that promises exciting cricket action. Sri Lanka will be led by Charit Asalanka, while Craig Irving captains the Zimbabwean side. This series marks a significant moment for Zimbabwe as veteran wicketkeeper batter Brenton Taylor returns to ODI cricket after nearly 4 years following a ban for breaching the ICC's anti-corruption code. Newcomer Pawan Watnaika joins the Sri Lankan squad, while Nuwanithu Fernando and Dushmantha Chameera return after missing the Bangladesh series. Now, historically, Sri Lanka has dominated the head-to-head record, winning 49 of the 64 ODIs played between the two nations. Zimbabwe has claimed victory in 12 matches, with 3 ending in no result. The last ODI series between the two sides was held in 2024, where Sri Lanka won 2-0. And with that, this week's edition of the Breakfast Rundown comes to an end. I will meet you again on Monday with more stories and developments that take place during the weekend. But if you want to keep yourself updated with all the developments, follow our award-winning website www.newsfirst.lk and follow us on our social media handles, and also subscribe to our WhatsApp channel. Until I see you again on Monday, take care and stay safe.